In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to generate real revenue. Your LinkedIn profile is the foundation of everything on LinkedIn, and a great LinkedIn profile will compound the results of everything else you do on LinkedIn, while a bad LinkedIn profile will make it so you're constantly fighting an uphill battle. I'm going to cover the 5 parts that matter the most while also debunking this one huge myth that drives me absolutely crazy and will save you hours by not falling for it. My name is Chris Cozzolino, and I'm the founder of Uptown.com. I've helped thousands of companies turn LinkedIn into a top revenue generator using the exact methods I'm about to show you. And my promise to you is that if you watch this video in its entirety, you'll be able to walk away with everything you need to know to have a LinkedIn profile that stands out in the best possible way. If you get any value from this video or any of my other videos, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. It helps us out more than you know. So before I jump into the 5 areas of profile optimization, plus the one bonus that I'm going to have at the very end, I want to talk really quickly about why your LinkedIn profile even matters. So why should you have an optimized profile as a founder or a sales leader or a marketer or any other role? And it's really simple. Your LinkedIn profile is your first impression on this platform. It is the thing that follows you around all of LinkedIn, whether you're sending messages, connection requests, or posting your own content and commenting on other people's stuff and engaging, even if you're just liking. Your LinkedIn profile is the one thing that follows you everywhere, and people treat it wrong. So the myth that I want to debunk is that a lot of people think that your LinkedIn profile should sell for you. It should be like a sales funnel. And I completely disagree. Your LinkedIn profile, the job of it is to make you look human. It's to make it so it doesn't hinder the results of everything else that you're doing. Especially if you're in a revenue generating role or you're a founder, it's really important to not make your LinkedIn profile harm and do more harm than good. So we're going to talk about the 5 things that are going to matter the most. And this is going to set you up to use LinkedIn as a true revenue generator and a real revenue channel. So the first piece of the puzzle is going to be your profile picture. So what should your profile picture look like? It's surprising how many people end up getting this wrong, but it's really simple. What your profile picture needs to be is a true headshot. So that means not having a body shot, not having a crazy background, making it just be a true head-on headshot. And the importance of that is that most of the things that you're doing on LinkedIn, people aren't going to be looking at your profile like the view that I just had on my screen. They're going to be looking at it like this, seeing Dan Rosenthal who posted it, and this little tiny thumbnail. Or the person that liked it here, it's an even tinier thumbnail. And the use case of your profile being optimized is to make it so when you're doing these other activities like sending connection requests or messages or posting content or leaving comments or liking posts, that your profile actually makes sense and is helping you. So what you don't want to have is a full body shot that shows too much of your body. And so making it so it's a true headshot is going to do the most benefit for your profile as a whole. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is your headline. And this is probably the most important part and where most people go wrong. So what you don't want in your headline is a line that's like, I help X people do Y thing. So this is an example. Sorry, Michael, if you're watching this, but it says, I help sales teams create predictable pipelines that convert. The reason you want to avoid this is it screams sales. Now, I understand why some people teach this method because you're treating your LinkedIn profile like a sales funnel. But the reason why I disagree with that is this is going to make it so a lot of the activities that you're taking on LinkedIn are just dead on arrival. So that connection request that you send is going to get accepted at a third of the rate. That message that you send is going to get lower response rates. That piece of content that you post is going to get less engagement. That comment that you leave is going to cause a pause for people and wonder if you're actually leaving a comment for the right reasons or if you're just trying to manipulate them and sell them. So that's the pitfall of having a headline that says exactly what you do. It's not the place for that because, again, your headline shows up everywhere. So instead, what you're going to want to have is a headline like mine. So you can use mine as an example. I'll also show some other examples, but it's really simple. The format that is going to make it so your LinkedIn profile is in the best possible position is to lead with your job title at the company that you're at. Don't overcomplicate it. Then you're going to want to put something professional about yourself and then something personal about yourself. And if you have those three pieces separated by this line break, you're going to be in a really good situation. So for me, I have co-founder/CEO at uptown.com. If you're looking to get more help with LinkedIn, go check out uptown.com. Then the professional stuff that I have is U Iowa alum. That's something I recently changed, and I like kind of the interactions that I have from it, showing, again, the college I went to. It sparks conversations that probably wouldn't have been started otherwise. Then I have this LinkedIn-led outbound. So that's the professional way that I describe what I do, but it's also on the tail end of what people are going to see. And then lastly, I have these two kind of personal pieces. So I have a dog named Henry. He's a Shishan. And so I have Shishan Dad there. I think it's funny, and it starts conversations with other people who are dog people. This is my first dog, so I like having little Henry there. And then I have my Myers-Briggs personality type as ENTP. So the format to follow for your headline is going to be your job title at company, followed by a separation, and then 1 to 2 professional things about you, and then more line breaks, and then 1 to 2 personal things about you. And that's going to humanize your profile and do all of the heavy lifting. So now you have a profile picture that makes you look like a real person, head-on headshot. People can see clearly who you are. It's almost like making eye contact with the computer, which is a good thing. And then you have a headline that isn't trying to overtly sell somebody. And that's really what you want to accomplish through your headline. Great. Now, the third piece is going to be a little bit controversial, and this is your about section. And so I actually had to add this back in just so I could type, this is a waste of space. And I think that the about section is the biggest waste of space on your profile. And the best thing that we can do is delete it. So I'm going to do just that and show you why and talk through a little bit of why I think the about section is a waste of space. So going into another profile, just so you can see here, when somebody clicks into your profile, they've already seen your profile picture, they've already seen your headline. So now the goal is to get them to learn a little bit more about you. And the about section just does a worse job than the featured section. So we'll talk about the featured section next, because that's what is going to take the place of the about section. But most people have both. And all the about section really does is make it so people have to scroll further to actually get to the featured section. So that's why I don't love having an about section. And then at worst case scenario, if people actually click the see more button, and then they see all of this stuff, they're probably not going to consume it. And then it pushes the important stuff like your featured section and your activity section down even further in the feed. So we want to avoid that at all costs. So going back to my profile, I'm going to show you how to delete this. What you're going to want to do is click the pencil there. And then simply all you have to do is remove all the text that's in there. And then if you have any of these skills there, I added that just to do more bad practices. And then you're just going to hit save. And what you'll see is now I gained like 2 to 3 inches on the screen. And that's a net positive for me. Nobody else can see this. So then the first thing that somebody sees when they go to my profile is going to be like my business partner, Austin. And this is perfect. So you're getting the featured section without even having to scroll. And that's exactly what we're trying to accomplish with what we just did. And so now that we've optimized our profile picture, we've optimized our headline, we've removed the about section. Now we can talk about the fourth thing, which is going to be the featured section. So this is where all of the heavy lifting is going to happen in your profile. And not everybody's going to see this part, but that's okay. That's the goal. You're trying to hide it a little bit so the people that do want to learn more because they're a little bit warmer to who you are able to start seeing some of these sales assets. But on the front end, you're getting all of the benefit of just looking like a normal person without driving people away. So in your featured section, this is going to be kind of personal preference. So for me, I have a LinkedIn post that performed well for us that is a client testimonial. Then I have a LinkedIn post that was more of a lead magnet. It's giving a message template. And then I have a personal one that is showing off the mustache and how people compare me to Raleigh Fingers. Now, you can't go too wrong with what you put in the featured section as long as it truly is the next step that you'd want somebody to take. So think about your sales process, think about your marketing funnel. This is going to be the place that you want to put that landing page or put that video sales letter or put that LinkedIn post that did a really good job of explaining who you are and what you do. Something I like putting here for clients a lot of times is the first post that will make for a lot of people is like an introduction post. This is who I am, what I do, why it matters. And then being able to pin that into the featured section is a really good way. And so the way that you can add assets to the featured section is clicking that edit button and then hitting the plus, and then you can add in links, or you can add in content for your profile. And then you can actually move this up and down using this button here, where you're going to be able to move kind of what's shown. I think as a best practice, your featured section should have 1 to 3 things in it. I have a couple more. The thing that is done well in this profile that I showed earlier is that there's just one link here. The thing that I like about one link in the featured section is it takes up more space on the screen, and people are definitely going to click that if you give them the opportunity to. The downfall of having multiples is that now there's going to be some people that click the first one, some that click the middle, some that click the third. I'm okay with that for my purposes because I want people to, match where they're at in the sales process. But if you have like one video sales letter that performs really well, that's what you should put there. If you have one call link that has a bunch of testimonials on that, that's what you should put there. And your featured section, you can test different things over time. So the last thing before I get to the bonus tip at the very end is going to be a custom button. And so this is something that is very underutilized on LinkedIn. And I think it's the biggest growth hack that you could possibly use. And just to show you what it looks like in the feed, this is going to be most helpful for people that are posting content. If you're not posting content, definitely check out the videos that I've created about LinkedIn content creation and how you can make it easy and match your style. But what the custom button is going to do is this is going to be another thing that follows you everywhere on LinkedIn. This is a new feature within the last year or so. It used to only be your profile picture, your name, and your headline that followed you everywhere. But now there's this button that is like visit my website is one of them. And that's the one that I recommend for most people, which I'll touch on in a second. But this custom button is a superpower because now every single post you make has a built-in call to action. And this is also going to go for anybody that clicks into your profile. So you can see Marcus here doesn't have a custom button, but then Philip does. So he has a visit my website custom button. The CEO of LinkedIn doesn't even have a custom button. So take that how you will. Another visit my website. I was trying to get another example of a book a meeting. Here's a view my newsletter one. For 90% of people that are watching this though, I'd recommend the visit my website. If you are trying to book a bunch of meetings, potentially adding the book a meeting link there can work. But I would use that kind of as a secondary to the visit my website. So if you're an SDR or an account executive and you don't care if marketing gets credit for website visits, then use the book a link or book a meeting rather. But if you're more of a founder or an executive and like all of that traffic is going to be helpful to get to your website, then I'd recommend that. The way that you can add a custom button, so you're going to need LinkedIn Premium, and LinkedIn Sales Navigator will have that built in. So if you already are paying for LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have this ability. If you're not, I highly recommend LinkedIn Sales Navigator. It is worth every penny. Just for one filter, which is the posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. I have tons of videos about why targeting active people on LinkedIn is going to make you a lot more money and save you a ton of time. But those are future videos that you should check out. The premium custom button, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom here and hit edit custom button, then you get these different choices. So visit my store, view my blog, book an appointment. I would stick between the visit my website, book an appointment, or view my newsletter. I would avoid the like view my portfolio or the services one, just because it's not too optimized and LinkedIn doesn't do a great job if it's like services marketplace. So visit my website is the gold standard. I have a UTM link here. So on my Google Analytics, I can see exactly who's coming to my website from my LinkedIn profile and my business partners and other people. It's not necessary, but it's just a little thing that you can add in. So the final bonus tip, if you made it this far, you get the bonus tip, which is going to be how to update your LinkedIn profile URL to make it be custom. And not very many people know how to do this, but you can see at the top here, maybe not, but linkedin.com/in/Chris Cozzolino is my URL. So if you're on your profile, you can see this public profile and URL. You're going to want to click edit here. And then you'll be able to click this little pencil and then change the text here actually. So this is going to be, for most people, I think just putting your name. If it's already taken, you can put a dash, or you can put your full name. I like it because it's a little bit shorter. I've seen some people put like a mantra there or something like outbound sales leader. You can do whatever you want there, but I think just putting your name makes it look cleaner. So now every time that somebody shares your LinkedIn profile, it's not going to show a super long chain. Let me see if I can find an example of one of those. Luckily, all these people have more optimized. Here's one. You can see Steven has this longer chain. And it's just an easy way to make it so if people are sharing your LinkedIn profile, that it looks a lot cleaner. So just to do a quick recap, profile picture, headline, delete about section, optimize your featured section, add a custom button to visit my website, and then change your profile URL through the method I just shared. If this was helpful, and if you're looking to turn LinkedIn into a top revenue generating channel, consider watching the next video where I go into a deep dive of that, and check out uptown.com. Thanks for watching.